All right, so let's switch back over here to our Power Apps screen, and let's look at those last two functions I want to go into, because they're really handy little guys that are worth having in your back pocket, and I want to give you a complete overview. So click on New Screen. And so here what I want to do is I'm going to take a label, because I use labels for everything, and we're just going to type in user. We're going to do like that, and then we'll do the dot, and you can see that with user, there's several different options, right? We have email, full name, and image. So user.email will actually show you my email address, right? So shane@contosoelect.onmicrosoft.com. Not my actual email address, so don't try and email me there. But so the user function is a great one, because remember we talked about I don't want you to have users input things you already know. So user.email and user.fullname, those are already there. So when you're building your experience, if you need to know those things, don't ask the user, just fill it in for them on the fly. Also, what I found is some people will end up trying to make like a security trimmed interface. So for example, if you wanted to have the big red button, whatever the big red button might do in your app, only show up for certain people, what you could do is you could say the visible property for that if user parentheses dot email equals, Shane@myemailaddress.com, then what would happen is that button would be visible. If not, it would not be. And so then that way the big red button would only show up for me. So the user functionality is pretty cool, right? Because you can't use Power Apps otherwise. There are no anonymous Power Apps. You can't share Power Apps outside of your organization. So you always know who is logged into your Power Apps app and who's interacting with it. And the user function is the way you do that. So the other function I want to talk to you about is you can take advantage of the now function. So just like that. So if we hit play to make it a little bigger. So now is going to give you the current date and time, right? And this is my local date and time. And so this is another way if you want to create a solution where you're logging the data, right? Maybe you're going to let them input, that inspection that we talked about someone doing. And so as they're doing the inspection, they're just taking pictures, uploading details and notes. And then behind the scenes, you're just writing these now tags to get the logging so you know when they made those changes, and writing right beside that the user.fullname tag so you know who made those changes. So user and now, they combine pretty well to give you some auditing and some kind of information on what's going on as well. So there's also then the ability to come in here and say, I want to do today. And so today is that same thing, but that is just the date. There's another function for is today, building solutions around task and due dates and things like that. There's is today. So there's several of these different functionalities that will go and take advantage of what the device already knows. So you can code for it instead of having to actually ask your user for all these things. So just a little bit of work, right? And these are the same type of functions we use in Excel, so it's not intimidating stuff. It's just something you just have to have in your own noggin that it is available to you. So hopefully that gives you a good overview of all the different controls and the functions, and it gets the wheels turning on what is the power of Power Apps and what are the capabilities that you have open to you to build.